America, land of opportunity, a beacon of hope. But even in the land of the free, dark clouds gather, storms brew. Economic hardship has a way of testing even the strongest foundations. Throughout our history, the American spirit has faced down challenge after challenge. Each time we have emerged, battered, but not broken. These are the stories of those trials by fire, tales of resilience, of loss, and of the unwavering human will to overcome. We begin our journey in the heart of the 20th century. The year was 1929. America was riding high. The stock market soared. Jazz filled the air. But the party wouldn't last. Black Tuesday, October 29, 1929, marked the beginning of the end. Panic selling gripped Wall Street. Investors, once brimming with confidence, watched in horror as their fortunes evaporated. The consequences were swift and devastating. Banks, their assets decimated, closed their doors. Businesses, starved of credit, were forced to shutter. Unemployment soared to unimaginable levels. Lines for bread in soup kitchens stretched for blocks, a visible reminder of the nation's plight. The Dust Bowl, a natural disaster of epic proportions, compounded the misery. Years of drought and unsustainable farming practices transformed the once fertile Great Plains into a dust bowl. Millions of farmers, their livelihoods destroyed, were forced to abandon their homes and head west in search of work and a glimmer of hope. The Great Depression was more than just an economic catastrophe. It was a crisis of faith, a test of the American spirit. Yet, even in the darkest of times, the human spirit endured. Neighbors helped neighbors, communities came together, and slowly, painstakingly, America began to rebuild. The 1970s, a decade of change, of social upheaval, and of economic uncertainty. America, still recovering from the Vietnam War, faced a new threat, the 1973 oil crisis. The Arab oil embargo, a political maneuver in response to U.S. support of Israel, sent shockwaves through the global economy. Oil prices skyrocketed. Gasoline became scarce. Lines at the pump became a common sight. The American dependence on foreign oil was laid bare, exposing a critical vulnerability. The impact on the economy was immediate and severe. Inflation soared. Businesses struggled to cope with rising energy costs. Consumers, their wallets squeezed, cut back on spending. The term stagflation entered the national lexicon, describing the toxic combination of stagnant economic growth and high inflation. Traditional economic tools seemed ineffective against this new foe. The 1973 to 1975 recession was a stark reminder that economic prosperity could be held hostage to geopolitical events far beyond America's shores. The oil crisis forced America to confront its dependence on foreign oil and to seek alternative energy sources. It highlighted the interconnectedness of the global economy and the need for energy independence. The early 1980s. Ronald Reagan took office, promising a new era of prosperity. But his economic policies, designed to combat runaway inflation, came at a cost. The Federal Reserve, under Chairman Paul Volcker, implemented a policy of high interest rates. The goal was to curb inflation by slowing the economy down. The impact was swift and painful. Interest rates soared to record highs. Mortgages became unaffordable. Businesses, starved for credit, struggled to stay afloat. Unemployment rose sharply. The manufacturing sector, once the backbone of the American economy, was hit particularly hard. The recession, while severe, laid the groundwork for a period of economic expansion. Inflation was brought under control. The economy began to recover. But the scars of the 1981 to 1982 recession, particularly the impact on the manufacturing sector, would linger. The 1981 to 1982 recession demonstrated the difficult trade-offs inherent in economic policy. It underscored the interconnectedness of various sectors of the economy and the potential consequences of rapid change. Section 5. The Great Recession, the House of Cards collapses. The early 21st century. a time of technological advancement and global interconnectedness. But beneath the surface, a crisis was brewing. The housing market, fueled by subprime mortgages and lax lending standards, had become a bubble waiting to burst. When the bubble finally did burst in 2007, the consequences were catastrophic. Millions of homeowners found themselves underwater, owing more on their mortgages than their homes were worth. Foreclosures skyrocketed. The financial system, heavily invested in mortgage-backed securities, teetered on the brink of collapse. Lehman Brothers, a venerable investment bank, declared bankruptcy, sending shockwaves through Wall Street and beyond. The government responded with unprecedented intervention, bailing out banks and automakers to prevent a complete economic meltdown. The American Recovery and Reinvestment Act, a massive stimulus package, was passed in an attempt to jumpstart the economy. The Great Recession was the worst economic downturn since the Great Depression. It highlighted the dangers of unregulated financial markets and the interconnectedness of the global economy. Section 6. Echoes of the Past, Whispers of the Future, Lessons Learned. The American economy has weathered many storms. From the depths of the Great Depression to the turmoil of the Great Recession, each crisis has left its mark. But each crisis has also taught valuable lessons about the fragility of prosperity, the importance of regulation, and the enduring strength of the American spirit. The Great Depression demonstrated the devastating consequences of unchecked speculation and the crucial role of government intervention in stabilizing the economy. The oil shocks of the 1970s highlighted the dangers of dependence on foreign oil and the need for energy independence. The 1981-82 recession underscored the difficult trade-offs inherent in economic policy, and the Great Recession exposed the dangers of unregulated financial markets and the interconnectedness of the global economy. These economic crises, while painful, have forced America to confront its vulnerabilities, to adapt, and to emerge stronger. They have reminded us that economic prosperity is not a guarantee, but a product of hard work, innovation, and sound policy. Section 7. The Unseen Foe, How Speculation Nearly Derailed Recovery. As America struggled to recover from the Great Recession, a new threat emerged: rampant speculation. Investors, flush with cash from government bailouts, poured money into commodities markets, driving up prices for essential goods. Wheat, oil, even basic foodstuffs became caught in the speculative frenzy. This speculative bubble, while seemingly disconnected from the everyday lives of ordinary Americans, had a devastating impact. Rising food prices pushed families already struggling to make ends meet further into poverty. Small businesses, facing increased costs for raw materials, were forced to raise prices or shut their doors. The government, already grappling with the aftermath of the financial crisis, seemed slow to react. Calls for regulation of commodities markets were met with resistance from those who benefited from the speculative frenzy. This period of unchecked speculation served as a stark reminder of the dangers of unfettered markets and the need for vigilance in the face of emerging threats. Section 8. The Long Road Back, From Ruins to Renewal. The road to recovery from the Great Recession was long and arduous. Millions remained unemployed. Homes stood empty, monuments to the bursting of the housing bubble. The scars of the crisis ran deep. But even in the face of such adversity, the American spirit endured. Entrepreneurs, fueled by innovation and a determination to succeed, launched new businesses. Communities, banding together, supported local businesses and created new opportunities. The government, through investments in infrastructure and education, laid the groundwork for future growth. The recovery was slow and uneven, but it was a testament to the resilience of the American people. It was a reminder that even in the face of seemingly insurmountable challenges, hope and hard work can pave the path to a brighter future. Section 9. A Legacy of Resilience. The American spirit endures. Throughout its history, America has faced numerous economic crises. Each downturn has brought hardship, uncertainty, and a profound sense of loss. But each crisis has also revealed the enduring strength of the American spirit, a spirit of resilience, innovation, and a determination to overcome adversity. From the breadlines of the Great Depression to the foreclosure signs of the Great Recession, Americans have always found a way to persevere. They have supported one another, rebuilt their communities, and emerged from each crisis stronger and more united. The legacy of these crises is not just one of hardship, but also one of resilience. It is a legacy that reminds us that even in the darkest of times, the human spirit, the American spirit, has the power to overcome any challenge. Section 10. The Future Unwritten, a Call to Action. As we look to the future, we must remember the lessons of the past. Economic crises are not inevitable, but they are a very real threat. We must remain vigilant, prepared to act decisively to mitigate risks and prevent future crises. This requires sound economic policy, responsible regulation, and a commitment to investing in the future. We must prioritize education, infrastructure, and innovation to create a more resilient and equitable economy. The future is unwritten, but we have the power to shape it. By learning from the past, working together, and embracing the spirit of innovation and resilience that has always defined America, we can create a more prosperous and equitable future for all.